Hey guys, make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell to be updated every time I make a new video. Thanks, let's begin. This Mako can Mako you dead. I'm sorry for that terrible pun. Apex. This is the 2016 shark exploitation horror thriller action novel by Chris McInally. Welcome to day 1 of Author Appreciation Week for Chris McInally. Let's begin. The plot: on Lake Minerva, reports of a shark having attacked people and animals is reported, and a sheriff, his deputy, and a biologist head out there to stop the man-eating menace. Meanwhile, a group of activists try to destroy their plans. Even though they think they're helping, they're making things worse. So this being my second time around reading Apex, what did I think? For starters, right off the bat, Chris McInally proves that he can write well-educated and exploitative fun. What I mean by that is that the writing is not simplified nor dull, and things and places are expanded upon, giving the book a realized group of characters and a great setting. Amidst all the crazy stuff that happens in this book, of course. For the characters, we have Haley, who is a fair and smart conservationist biologist. She is also very well versed in marine biology, and her, along with their friends, are studying the effects of climate change in Lake Minerva. Now, climate change, it's an interesting angle to put into a shark movie or book. It was used effectively as a ploy in Deep Blue Sea 3, and here it is a way to bring sea creatures into a freshwater environment. I do have to respect that McInally doesn't push the idea of climate change onto the reader, and instead just uses it as a plot device. It makes me, amongst others, just, enjoy the story. There's also Sheriff Ramirez, who is a decent guy. He doesn't believe there's a shark in the lake at first, but does appear to be genuinely apologetic towards Haley, once her claims are proven to be true. Professor Willard Thompson is Haley's teacher and lover. He knows that there is more that can be done at Lake Minerva. New things and creatures to discover, and such. He's a good guy too. However, on the opposite end of the spectrum is Demi. She's a bitch. She's a cop-hating, human race dismissing, feminist activist who will do anything to save animals. Even kill. She doesn't care. She wants to get done what she wants to get done, no matter the amount of lives lost. She works for an organization called RAW, which stands for Radical Action for Animal Welfare. Radical, bro. You're so cool. And with her character, Demi's, you begin to wonder if she's doing all of what she does for the animals themselves, or for her own ego. Must be a Democrat. I'm sorry, I couldn't resist. There are other characters as well, such as Samuels, the deputy, Ashley, Brad, and Carl, all of whom are somewhat inconsequential to the overall story. They're not really annoying or anything, they're very likable actually, from what you get to know about them. In fact, I was actually quite surprised the first time I read this. A bunch of the characters die halfway through. I will not spoil who, but I will say it was a ballsy choice, and I found it to be a smart one at that. Given that this book is only 135 pages, you would think that it'd slow down after that. But no, sir, it just keeps going strong. That's not to say that there is like a massacre or something, far from it. The shark is actually so aggressive because it is starving, and not because it is some sort of killing machine. Let's get into the good stuff though, shall we? The gore! We get bloody bites, a severed hand, a body torn in two with the entrails hanging out, and a grisly decapitation. It's quite a visceral and vicious shark book. Even with only 7 human deaths, the book does pack quite a bite. When a cow and a grouper are eaten, they aren't just dragged under and torn apart. No, they're torn apart in front of someone's eyes, and they're like looking on in horror as the mako shark rips everything into shreds. The shark itself, like I said, is a mako, and it is 13 feet long. Quite a big fish for that breed, and it does add to the threat level because it is so fast, even at its length. Now let's get into that segment that I had in my Werewolf by Moonlight review, the proposed film score. Max Arouge and Stefan Thum, who also composed Crawl 2019, I think would have a field day with this book if it was turned into a movie. I could picture the opening of their track from Crawl, Race Day, playing as the shark glides across the cage with Haley in it during the climax. They could even make the waterworks come out when, at the halfway point, all of those characters that you kind of grow to like are eaten, with the great violin sections they had in Crawl. Well, not the exact same ones, but different enough. They succeeded in making an orchestral and ominous score for that movie, Crawl, and I feel they could do the same for this book if it were turned into a movie. Overall, despite some nitpicky things, this is a solid and short thrill ride. Really short. The ferocity of this fish alone makes for intense attack sequences. Meanwhile, there are some minor spelling errors, one or two scenes with pacing issues, and it is a bit far-fetched with just how ferocious the shark is near the climax. No matter how hungry it was, or is, it wouldn't do what it does. And I loved the climax with how intense it was, with Haley trying to swim to the surface and stopping every few feet or so to not get the bends. She had to stop for 5 minutes. Man, that's crazy. I think it's every 20 feet. I'm not sure. The tension underwater is great, but the final battle above the water, it's a bit generic, but it was still hot stuff. Give this a read if you want bloody shark carnage with a side of sheer intensity and likable characters. Overall, I give Apex a 3.5 out of 5. Thank you all for watching, and I am Brian Gatto, the Horror Show host. Make sure to like, comment on, as well as share this video. Like my Facebook fan page and support me on Patreon, where even $1 a month will help keep this channel going on strong, and I'd greatly appreciate it. Plus you get access to body counts and other music videos, as well as early access to other videos that'll be up later on in the week or whenever. And the others you cannot get on YouTube because of copyright and age restriction. Monetary support: if you want to support the channel through PayPal at horrorshow37@gmail.com, you can do that, but if you don't want to support me with any money at all, just show your support by hitting that notification bell to be notified every time I make a new video. And as always, subscribe.